Hey guys, Glockster42. I hope this finds everyone well today. So let's take a look at the post-build review of the Meng Panther A Late 35th scale. It is kit number TS035. One of the Tyrannosaurus runs. Don't know what that means, but that's just what they said. Alright, let's take a look at basically a kit. As you can see, I have put on Zimmerit on it. ATAK resin Zim. We'll talk about that a little bit later. So let's jump right into the build. Okay, Meng will have you start building the suspension and then the multi-piece lower hull. Go ahead, build the drive sprocket, the drive wheels. They line up really nice. There's no issues with that like Hobby Boss. The rear idler sprocket goes in really nice. There's absolutely no issues with that. Put all that together. These little poly caps are very snug. They're really tight to the torsion bars. Go ahead, put in road wheel A, put that together, but do not put together road wheel B, guys. Trust me on this one. You will be cursed in life if you glue these up. Go ahead, put that poly cap in, get them primed up, ready to assemble. Then as you can see, it's a multi-piece lower hull, which goes together well, but you really need to watch this D17 piece because it has to be lined up perfectly with the holes out here, because this is actually what your torsion bars click into for tension. If they're slightly out of line, you're not going to get your torsion bars in there. Trust me, I'm speaking from experience. Make sure those are super lined up and ready to roll. So next thing we're going to roll over, we're going to put the rear plate on, we're going to get some more detail pieces on here, then we're going to jump right into the torsion bar suspension here. A little fiddly bits here, F6, F30s. You really got to pay attention to this instruction sheet to make sure you're getting what torsion bars where. I've built a few Panthers, so you get to a point where you know what is what and which torsion bars go where, but really pay attention to what you're doing. These are they're super tight. They can be a bit of a bear to get in. You got to make sure you get them in nice and tight. So get all these suspension arms lined up nice and straight. They are, because of the way they're built, they go in nice and level. There's not much chance of you getting screwed up and having an uneven sit on this because of that. But just really follow the instruction sheets and watch what the hell you're doing, boys. And now we get to this part where we're actually putting on road wheels. As you can see, somehow Meng thinks that you're going to be able to magically have all these floating in air and then just push them in using the force. No way. So what you need to do is you need to put the back pieces, these back 1, 2, 3, 4 wheels on with the poly caps. You're going to have to use a pair of tweezers and push those poly caps in nice and tight. They are super snug. They're crazy tight. Then you're going to want to put on these center 4 road wheels. Put them in, and then you can glue up your outer road wheels and then get your drive sprockets in. That's the only really good way you're going to do this. Otherwise, you're going to drive yourself absolutely freaking insane trying to figure out to do it the way they show. Just don't glue these 4 together. Put them all in. Do both sides. Bob's your uncle. You'll have it. Let's take a look at how it turned out. Okay, as you can see, if you get your torsion bars in, it's nice and solid. No rocking whatsoever. Let's see if we can flip it over here without losing all of our side skirts. As you can see, everything fits really nice and snug. It's a good suspension system. I was really quite happy with that. Some of them ones I built, suspension system and torsion bars are just horrendous. This one went together really well. Now on step 6 it gets a little bit, they don't explain it very well. You don't do both. I was trying to figure out how you did both steps. You only do one or the other. You either put this toe system on or you put this toe hook system on. It would have been nice if they would have had somewhere saying that it's an option. I guess that's supposed to be their symbol for an option, but it's not really well explained in the front of the instruction sheet. So you either do this small one or the big one. I did this big one because it's something I haven't done on my other kits before. Okay, now the exhaust system that gives you 2 different styles of exhaust, the singles or the multiple exhaust. You have 7 different options depending on what kit you decide to build. You go from there. I wanted to do this one, but for some reason I ended up doing this one. I don't know what happened here, but I just wasn't paying attention when I started gluing these up. I just glued them up and everything was all solid. You know what, the hell with it. I'm just going with the single one. So let's take a look at how that rear end turned out. Again, I don't know why I keep priming all this stuff when I'm trying to do a post-build review. Just stupid of me. Anyway, there was no issues here. It all fit really well. Let's just leave it at that. Now let's kick at the elephant in the room. The tracks. Wow. The tracks took me as long to build as the entire kit did. I was probably close to between 18 and 20 hours on these tracks. It doesn't look bad, but it's the cleanup that kills you. G1, G4. Each G4 has a single sprue location which needs to be cut and cleaned. That's a big deal. So you got 2 per track, and then each track has 6 sprue mounting points that all need to be Dremel cleaned because you cannot get a blade in there to clean it up. So I used a Dremel blade, a Dremel bit to clean up these guide horns, these guides. They're hollow guide horns, so they look good. But then each one of these required 6 different cleanups. And you've got, I think, 87 or 87 pieces per side. Yeah, it's a lot of freaking work for the tracks. But they look good. Let's take a look. 20 hours later, we got the tracks put together. And they went together really nice. Once you got them assembled, they're a joy to put together. They just plop right in. Nicely detailed, and everything fits. In fact, I left this rear idler assembly loose in case I had to loosen or tighten it. Didn't need to do a damn thing to it. It lined right up with exactly 87 links. You can't really see it with these on here. Let me just roll it around here. These were kind of a bit of a bugger to take on and off, but as you can see, we got a nice track. We got a really nice sag on them. They look great, hollow guide horns. A hell of a lot of work cleaning these tracks up, but was it worth it? Nah, no. They look good, but no. Most people don't even realize that they should have hollow guide horns, so was it worth it? No. Anyway, let's carry on. Now we can hit the upper hull. As you can see, the upper hull is multiple pieces again. They have the frame with each piece that you glue in separately. The fit was really good. It's kind of a pain. It adds to a much more heavy-duty kit, but they're kind of a pain, and you can see you've got multiple options for different variants. I went right up to this point. I put the side pieces on. I left all these off, left this off, and then I jumped over here, added all these, added this, put the rear fenders on with these, and then I glued up the top and bottom hull, because once again, they've got you doing all this detail work to the upper hull, and then attaching your upper hull to the lower hull. I don't like to do that. I jump all the way over here to 17, attach the upper and the lower hull, then I go back and start doing all the rest of this, all the rest of these pieces. Now, let's talk about the Zimmerit. When you're using the ATAK Zimmerit, it's specifically for this kit, and what you want to do is you want to make sure you put down all your tool holders, your cleaning rod tube holders, your track holders, on both sides. At that point, then you want to put the ATAK Zimmerit on. Let's take a look at the Zim. Now this ATAK resin Zimmerit is really nice. It's a perfect fit. Cut it out with a really sharp X-Acto on a bit of an angle. Each little piece here in between all these track holders are separate pieces. They glue right in. They fit absolutely perfectly. I was just amazed at how good this fit was. As you can see, they all fit really nice. A little bit of cleanup top and bottom. If you have a little seam, use a little bit of plastic putty on that. They also come with a resin molded driver's visor, as well as a resin molded ball mount for the MG38. Really nice. They match up perfectly with the patterns on here. It's thin, it's subtle, it fits just absolutely fantastic. And like I said, if there is any fit cleanup that you need, like on the edges here, where there wouldn't be any seam, just make sure that you go ahead and put a little bit of perfect putty or plastic putty or the Vallejo plastic putty in there to fill it out. All in all, the hull was really nice. The photo etch was really nice. It's fine, it's thin, it cuts easily off the sprues. The photo etch is fantastic on this kit. There's not tons of it, there's just the right amount of photo etch. So yeah, I really like the photo etch on that. So that's pretty much the lower hull complete. Let's take a look at the turret. So as you can see here, the turret again is multi-piece. front, back, top, sides. They all go together really well. They fit fantastic. Same thing, they're going to have you do all this little fiddly business stuff, adding all these little pieces. Do that last, especially if you're going to put the Zim on. Get all these bits put together, put the Zim on. Now there's a couple ways you can use Zim. Let me just show you what I used. So what I started off on the hull was with this JB plastic bonder. It's supposed to be an epoxy specifically for plastic. It says that it's good to use in 15 minutes. Stuff sucks. They say that you should be able to sand it in 30 minutes. I was waiting 36 hours to cure, and we followed the instructions, the exact amounts, mixed for the exact amount of time. It's got lousy tack. It's not sticky. I hated it, so threw that crap out. So I ended up using just good old Gorilla super glue, CA glue. It's really thick. It's a really thick glue, and it doesn't cure instantly, of course, unless it's something that you don't want it to cure instantly, like your tweezers or your fingers. You've got some working time to it. So I just laid out a nice thin layer on the armor, fit it up, and popped her on and rolled it in. It just worked out just perfectly. So the turret had absolutely zero issues. Once again, the ATAK comes with two different mantles, the single periscope for the later models and the double periscope for the earlier models of Panther A's. Really nice turret. It gives you clear glass block periscopes, which, I don't know. I still see I forgot I have to add on the machine gun port coming out of there. That needs to get added in yet. And I didn't bother adding in I still have to also add in the wire for the headlamp. So just a couple little extra details there that I missed, and that's one thing nice when you do a review like this, you can see the things that you've missed. Now I chose to do the Mercedes-Benz model, or the Daimler-Benz. They put the rear road wheels on the back there. I thought that looked pretty cool, so I did that on that. And that's pretty much it. It comes with two different barrels. They're both one-piece barrels. It comes with a plastic barrel and a metal barrel. I found that the metal barrel didn't fit very well with the resin mantle, so I just went straight plastic with a multi-piece plastic muzzle brake. It all fit really good. Very little seams. Actually, it's pretty darn good. Now, we get back to the lower hull here. Another thing, tracks. The track mounts, they're not right again. They're very simple. There just should be some U-shaped brackets with holes in them that you put in that and you roll a pin through, but they've got these pins on it, so I don't know about that. Oh, one thing I just about forgot to tell you guys. It also comes with Zimmerit resin storage boxes for the back. And the ATAK kit also comes with resin molded back stowage units as well, which are really, really nicely done. It also includes a very nicely detailed MG38 with some resin aircraft sights and machine gun bit with the ammo pouch. I chose not to put it on because none of my reference really show this model with the machine gun on it. As you can see on these tracks back here, when you put them on the back end, you can definitely see the inside of these horns. You definitely need to run that in, so I did seal those up and clean them up with a little bit of plastic putty. You don't see them on the finished kit because they are inside, so that is something that you need to do when you mount them up on the back. Now overall, yeah, this wasn't a bad kit, although those tracks really for me kind of destroyed how much fun it was. I guess you could put model casting tracks on, but I just don't like spending another 50-60 bucks just on tracks, and I'm kind of a cheap ass. I just want to build what's in the kit, and it's got to be pretty darn special for me to spend any more money on it. So let's take a look at the sorry, that was terrible. Let's take a look at the markings and the decals. Now it gives you 7 different markings. This one is the Viking for the Ukraine Summer 44. Then we go over to the 4th Panzer Division Wehrmacht in Eastern Front, Autumn of 44. Then we hit the, who's this? The 31st Panzer Regiment in Poland in 45. 44. Then we've also got another Viking division of Poland in 44. Flip over here, we've got even more. We have the 3rd Panzer Division in Normandy in summer 44. Then we hit the another Viking regiment in the summer of 44. Doesn't say where. Somewhere in the Eastern Front, I would imagine. And then the last one, which is I find the coolest, which I'm not going to do this, but a repainted one of the Red Army that they captured and used in Warsaw. So lots of options on painting, lots of options in options in marking. The decal sheet is typical Meng. Hard to say what it's going to be like. They look to be nice and clear and crisp, but you never know until you get them in that warm water what they're going to be like. All right, would I build this kit again? No, unless I got it on sale. I believe the original price in my local hobby shop was $78. I've seen these online as high as $100. I don't think I've ever seen anything lower than 80 Canadian. So, you know, it's up to you. You know, if you want to spend the money, go ahead. You're going to have to also spend another 35 bucks if you want on the resin ATAK Zim. You can do it. You can do it yourself, but I've honestly done quite a bit of hand Zimmerit, and I can't get it as fine and detailed as what ATAK has. So that's kind of going to be my go-to on just about anything now that has Zimmerit, or I just won't build kits with Zimmerit. So anyway, if you like what you see, guys, hit that thumbs up. Hell, if you hated it, give me the thumbs down. It's just the interaction. The YouTube likes to see comments and ups and thumbs up, thumbs down. If you like what you see, consider hitting that subscriber button. I try to put out something at least once a week. Hit the notification so you know that's coming out. YouTube can be kind of funny with subscriptions and notifications lately. So anyway, there you have it, guys. The Meng Panther Mark A Late. I hope you have a great day. Appreciate your time.